Welcome to Future Leaders Institute Charter School. Thank you for joining us to our family open house. Before we begin, please turn off your cell phones. Here's an overview of what we will do during our time together. You will learn all about FLY, our partnership with you, our families. We will talk a little bit about the application process. We will have some time for a Q&A, and at the very end, there will be a school tour, followed by some time to complete the application, if you haven't already done so. So who are we? Future Leaders Institute started in 1999 by a husband and wife duo. They decided to create a program for the lowest performing students within the 3rd grade. That program later expanded and they applied for a charter. By 2005, the charter was approved and Future Leaders Institute Charter School was reborn into a K-8 program. The high standards that are set by FLY are there to ensure that we equip our students with a competitive academic foundation to prepare them not just for Future Leaders Institute students, but for high school, college, and beyond. At FLY, we believe the collaboration between parents, teachers, and students is really important in order to establish a foundation for long-term success. FLY's culture is built on academic success, respect, self-discovery, and community. Here's our school's mission. I'm going to read this verbatim. Our mission is to deliver a rich and rigorous educational experience in order to develop academically high-performing students with their leadership, character, and knowledge to achieve success in high school and beyond by focusing on a culture of academic achievement, respect, self-discovery, and community. Whew, that was a lot. We take all of this information and we boil it down into this one statement. FLY is here to develop the children of today to be the leaders of tomorrow. There are 4 pillars here that will allow for us to complete our mission. Pillar 1 talks about achieving academic success and building 21st century skills within our students. Pillar 2 focuses on the social and emotional development of our students. And Pillar 3 talks about taking on leadership roles and responsibilities within the school. And last but certainly not least, Pillar 4 focuses on the exceptional extracurricular activities that we have here at FLY and off-site for our students. Let's talk a little bit about Pillar 1. Within Pillar 1, we assist our students in achieving academic success and building those 21st century skills by focusing on an assessment-driven instruction that's rooted in standards-based curricula. There are several assessments that are taken throughout the school year here at FLY. There is the pre, mid, and end of unit assessments that are created by teachers, in addition to 3 benchmark assessments that all of our students in grades K through 8 take in both ELA and math. The data that we collect from these assessments allow for us to determine what our students know and what do we need to continue to teach. Lastly, at the end of the school year, students in grades 3 through 8 participate in the New York State ELA math and science exams. We also focus on a small group individualizing differentiating instruction in our classroom. In order to do that, we use several curriculum throughout. Within ELA, we have Foundations, which is a phonics-based curriculum within kindergarten through 2nd grade. K-5 uses the Readers Writers Workshop by Lucy Calkins, and 6 to 8, there are novel-based units of instruction. In math, throughout the school, we use Singapore Math. Singapore Math starts off with teaching students what is behind the numbers. They learn a lot about math fluency, as well as carrying on into the later years, learning about traditional algorithms and more efficient ways to solve math problems. The science curriculum is a hands-on FOSS curriculum. Students also come to the science lab once a week in order to do experiments as it connects to the units of study. Social Studies is a custom-built Common Core-based curriculum that has been created by FLY teachers with the use of Engage New York. Within our school, we have a 10-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio. We have small group guided reading within all of our elementary grades, K through 5. At any given time during guided reading, you can see 2 to 3 teachers within the room working with small groups of students in order to support them in reading based on the level in which they are. These lessons are focused on the students' reading ability and not so much on the grade level content. In addition to that support, we do have Saturday Academy and Summer Academy that is open to all students in grades K through 8. That support is focused in ELA and math. Our students in grades grades 2 through 8 have their own laptops, so we have a one-to-one laptop initiative. Within K-1, the students share a set of classroom laptops as well as tablets. Our middle school students take typing classes and they use Microsoft Office tools on a weekly basis. Teachers also use technology in order to tailor their instruction. We have a partnership with Power My Learning, and through Power My Learning, teachers can create playlists for the students to work on. And in that playlist, as well as within iReady, it allows for the teacher to receive real live feedback on how the students are doing. Google Classroom is another platform that is used within our middle school classrooms, which allows for the teacher to create lessons and receive feedback from students to see how they're doing. Let's talk a little bit about our social and emotional curriculum here at FLY. We use a holistic instruction and responsive classroom approach in order to work with our students through social and emotional development. This could be seen throughout our morning meetings and advisory. Every day at the start of the school day, all students participate in a circle where they are learning about how to greet one another, talk to one another, and be a presence within the classroom and be a part of a classroom community. We also have community circles at our school, which happen once a month for both lower school and middle school, and also open circles within the classroom. These open circles allow for us to focus on our core values. There are 6 core values here at FLY: leadership, compassion, respect, responsibility, effort, and truth. These are the definitions of those core values. If you haven't picked up a handout on the side table, you may do so at some point, and you will see the definitions listed here for all of the core values that we display and practice here at FLY. These core values are also posted within the classroom as a reminder to our students. Within our community circles, we not only focus on discussing these core values, but we also highlight those students who have exemplified the core value throughout the month. Within Pillar 3, this pillar focuses on students taking on meaningful leadership roles. One of the ways that they can do that is by joining our student council in middle school. If they are not a part of the student council, then they can definitely bring forth some ideas to the student council to be presented to the leadership team. Student council is responsible for bringing events and activities to our school and just to make our school a lot better overall based off of the student feedback. So their input is very important within student council. We have student-run clubs where the students create the club and decide on what specific thing they would like to do in the club, such as a cooking class. They decide what they are going to eat, they prepare the meals, for example, and then they decide on what information they're going to learn within that class that they can also turnkey and use at home, such as healthy eating. Community service is also really big at FLY. Annually, our students participate in voting on a particular community service event that they would like to be a part of. This particular event, these 4th graders, who are now 7th graders, decided that they wanted to give back to sheltered animals. And so throughout the entire few months of that time that we did this service, they collected items within each classroom to give back to the sheltered animals. We took a trip to the Humane Society and dropped off all the food and toys and animal products that we had collected throughout the previous few months. Last but certainly not least are the extracurricular activities that our students are a part of. We have a very extensive extended day program. This program allows for students to be a part of the clubs and also be a part of extracurricular classes that they would not get within the regular school day. Extended day runs from 2:30 to 4:45. From 2:30 to 3 o'clock, students participate in a communal snack, and then from 3 o'clock to 4:45, they are in their arts classes. Some of these classes include chess, African drumming, visual arts, contemporary dance. We have a partnership with the American Ballet Theater, Planned Parenthood, Scholar STEM, which is a coding class, New York Cares, Kids in the Game, which is our physical activity and gym classes. There are also opportunities outside of the school, such as field trips centered around the curriculum and the work that they're doing. One of our biggest field trips is the 8th grade field trip that they take to DC annually in order for them to explore what's outside of not just Future Leaders Institute, but outside of New York City as well. We have a partnership with HBO. Our middle school students go weekly to HBO, and also our partnership, which is a long-standing partnership with 92nd Street Y. We've actually been with them for about 10 years. This partnership is within our kindergarten through 2nd grade, and it allows for our students to go to the 92nd Street Y and be a part of an audience for live music for different various kinds of music around the world. We have a teaching artist who comes to the school 3 times a month, pre-concert and post-concert, to talk with the students about the musical instruments that they will hear at the concerts, as well as the different types of music. We also have a partnership with Deloitte, who's helped us successfully run our annual field day trip, and then the Charter School Athletic Association. There are 2 leagues that we have here, which is the flag football team, as well as girls and boys basketball. Let's talk a little bit about our student results. This chart represents us outperforming the home districts for nearly 90% of our students. As you can see, within ELA, Future Leaders Institute Charter School has outperformed all of these community school districts listed below. Our neighboring school district is CSD 5, and you can see where they end up on the chart here. Within math, this chart represents us outperforming the home districts for nearly 80% of our students. And again, you see our comparison to our neighboring school. Within ELA, for the population of Black, Hispanic, and multiracial students, this represents us outperforming the home districts for over 90% of our students. And lastly, same population, Black, Hispanic, and multiracial students within math, this represents, again, outperforming the home districts for our students, over 90% of them. Let's talk a little bit about our partnership with our families. Parent-teacher conferences happen every term. There are 3 terms throughout the school year. At the parent-teacher conferences, it's a one-on-one conference with the student's teacher as well as the family, and the students are invited as well, for us to discuss their academic progress as well as their social growth. We have school-mandated parent communication time. Every Tuesday afternoon, our teachers participate in making phone calls to share with families how their child is doing academically, focusing on attendance and also their social skills. Not only do our teachers use this mandated time in the afternoon, but they are constantly talking to families all the time throughout the week and throughout the day. So if there's ever a time where you need to reach your teacher, please understand that after school on Tuesday is not the only time. We also distribute bi-weekly academic updates to all of our students in K through 8. These updates actually come from our Kickboard. Kickboard is a student information system that houses all of the grades and social and emotional updates on the student, behavior as well as academics. We encourage families to access Kickboard because the bi-weekly reports, while they're distributed paper copies bi-weekly, you can access Kickboard to be able to get those updates as often as you would like. Attendance at Fly is so important that we decided to dedicate an entire slide to it. We have a goal of achieving a 95% rate of attendance here at our school. If your child is absent 2 or more days from school per month, they're on the track of being chronically absent. And so if this pattern continues, by the end of the school year, they would have missed an entire month of school. And so in order to combat that and to reach our goal, these are some of the things that we've put in place. We have daily attendance calls that indicate whether your child is late or absent. They're an automated call that families receive. We have, like I mentioned, mandated weekly parent-teacher communication, which is Tuesday afternoons, and typically families would be receiving phone calls from teachers to update them on how their child is doing in their attendance. And we have family intervention meetings with the school leadership and the school counselor. If there is no improvement in the child's attendance, we like to have those meetings to determine how it is that the school can help support you in making sure that there is progress within your child's attendance. Here are some logistics about our school. The doors open for breakfast at 8 a.m. Students in kindergarten and first grade have breakfast in their classroom, and those in grades 2 through 8 have breakfast in our cafeteria. Breakfast is until 8:10 for our middle school students, who then transition upstairs on their own. At 8:20, students in grades K through 5 start to wrap up breakfast and get started for the day and begin morning meeting. Every child has breakfast, lunch, and snack provided free of charge. Metro cards are available for students who are eligible, but unfortunately there is no yellow bus school service. Extended day for our students ends at 4:45. When there is no extended day, dismissal is at 2:30, and that typically happens when it's parent-teacher conference evenings, as well as during the month of January, where we are working on revamping our extended day schedule to give our students more opportunities within their extended day classes. The uniform, as you can see, our students wear light blue tops with the school logo, a navy blue bottom, pants or skirts. Shoes are blue or black. Students are asked to keep accessories to a minimum, and we ask that if you are to wear any hair accessories, they must be blue, black, or white. Obviously, this student has pink. And jumpers are optional for our students in grades K through 2. And as long as it's a navy blue jumper, again, with the school logo. Sometimes our temperature is hard to regulate within the building, and so we ask that during the cold months that you provide your child with a sweater. And that sweater or sweatshirt should be a navy blue one. Please no hoodies. So how do you apply the fly? We are a tuition-free school, and you are chosen randomly through a lottery. Our school is open to all students regardless of their academic ability, their prior academic progress, any special needs, or English language learning status. To apply for a seat, you must complete the application by April 8th, 2019 at 11:59 p.m. If you are a kindergarten, you must turn 5 on or before December 31st in order to be eligible for our kindergarten program. Again, kindergartners are enrolled via a lottery, and within grades 1 through 8, it's lottery waitlist. The last day to submit your application is April 8th, as I mentioned before, and then the lottery is drawn the following day at 5 p.m. Families are usually notified by mid-April, early May about their status. There are several ways to apply. The preferred way would be online. We do participate in a New York Charter Center Common application. So if you go to our website and hit the tab Apply Online, you can download that application and it goes right to us. You may email your application by scanning it and sending it to admissions@futureleadersinstitute.org, or drop it off in person, room 304 here on the 3rd floor. Here are some photos from our special events. As you can see, these are our African drummers, and we have various types of dance. We have 2 shows at the end of the year, 2 shows throughout the year, one mid-year, which we call our holiday show, and then we have an end-of-year show where students who participate in our extended day program showcase all of the work that they've done in their classes. We have an annual Thanksgiving feast where our families participate in donating several dishes throughout the building, and we have an assembly line of our students coming down with families as well as volunteers who come to serve our students and make it a special day for them before the Thanksgiving break. We have, as I mentioned, our extended day cooking class. We have parent workshops for all grades, as well as 8th grade class trips. This is the time now where we take any questions that you might have. Of course, if you don't think of a question at this time, we can definitely ask questions as we go through our school tour. Thank you for taking the time to come to Future Leaders Institute Charter School. We welcome you here and we hope to see you again. Thank you.